What up, peeps?
How y'all doing?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. 3, 2, 1.
What up?
Oh, there we go. There's one after.
I know.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing, y'all?
What is going on, peeps? Welcome to the Let's Make Out podcast, where we make out all things what?
Love, life, and laughter.
That is right. I am your host, Gabrielle, joined by my handsome husband and co-host,
Chad.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're so glad you're here. How y'all doing? It's Thursday. When you're listening to this, like literally the day the podcast is supposed to go up, we are filming and recording.
It's so funny whenever, I feel like we should end on your name, because you're like, yours is all. Oh,
because I be cutting you off?
No, because yours is so good, like Gabrielle. It's all, and then Chad.
No, that's because I have so many syllables.
I know, but let me get an extra syllable or something. Can I borrow a syllable?
You can have a syllable. That's why every time you say my name, I have to say Chad Rader to get the whole, you say Gabrielle, I say Chad Rader.
That's what I'm saying. Because it's like, cool, I'm your host, Gabrielle, and this is my handsome husband,
Chad.
You
need a longer name, shorty. I'm going to call you Chad.
Let me borrow a syllable. Anybody got a syllable for sale out there?
Not for sale.
Put on Craigslist or something. Let me know. Facebook Marketplace.
Are people still buying things off Craigslist?
Of course.
I have not been on Craigslist in a long time. Like, is it really still a thing? Do y'all still buy stuff?
I haven't been on Facebook. I haven't been on Craigslist probably longer than you have been on.
Honey, I have used to stay on Craigslist. I have bought so many good things from there. Found friends. I mean, all of the things on Craigslist.
Yes,
all of the things.
I feel like we talked about that in the podcast.
We probably did. I wish I knew which podcast it was to refer you to.
Yes.
You could hear my Craigslist friend story.
Yes. Yes. Oh. Most interesting places I ever heard of a person making a friend.
Hey, I mean, this folks is finding their husbands on the line,
and look, that friend almost made the wedding. Almost.
She almost did. She flaked. It was her bad.
Yeah, so she's no longer a Craigslist friend.
Yeah, she's
or a real world friend.
She's not. I mean, wish her the best, but we don't really talk anymore.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny.
Yeah, hilarious. So let's see what has been going on. Okay, so I appreciate everybody's feedback about the current events. The majority of you liked it, and you liked us just casually talking about the things. And there was one comment that I really appreciated, and she was just saying that she would say that we stay away from it because sometimes it can gossip and stuff, like it can turn into gossip or have a negative undertone. So I do appreciate all the perspectives. I think it's something that maybe we don't plan to do it, but if it happens, you know what I'm saying, if it's something that's going on, I legit had no idea that that announcement was going to be coming out
the next
day when I was like, are they really getting a divorce? I had absolutely no idea. It was just something I had thought about.
Yeah, because that's obviously not a good thing.
No, it's
you don't
not.
wish a divorce on anyone.
Yeah.
So that's not exciting news. Unfortunately, the media makes it exciting news.
They do. It's ridiculous.
It's not exciting news for a family to be broken up. That's not exciting. So so I get that whole perspective of not wanting to gossip, because we don't gossip. We don't want to gossip. We don't ever want people to think that we gossip. Yeah. So I get that, but absolutely. Yeah, that's why I use the barbershop, the shop stuff. I just use like I said, go watch the episode, okay? Because
I still need to watch. I haven't watched it yet.
I need to watch the. I'm trying to get my Barack Obama impersonation.
Beck has been trying this.
Hey, where's Michelle? Get Michelle, and no, that's not good. That wasn't good.
That wasn't good.
Dang, I did it so good in the car. What did I say that time?
I don't remember what you said, but I was like, yeah.
He's talking to LeBron. Let me see if I can do one. He's talking to LeBron. How you doing, champ? That was pretty good. Okay. Yeah, Michelle and I, we're cheering you on. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Okay, I'm getting there.
That was pretty good. There. Now I'm not gonna tell y'all who he's really good at doing.
Yeah.
He's really good at it. I feel like there was somebody else that you've done before that's good.
Who was? I started trying to do Arnold. Arnold's difficult.
Arnold is difficult. I can't do impersonations.
I do DJ Khaled.
Well, I mean, all he does is yell. Like, everybody can do DJ Khaled.
We the best. Father Assad.
You sound so funny to me when you say that. I wish you could do the other one because it's usually so good when he does it, and but you do it out of nowhere.
I do it out of nowhere.
Yeah. So what else has been going on? Okay, I'm sorry, and I'm going to try really, really hard to not touch the table. The crazy thing is, it's literally just, it's not like I'm slapping the table. Like if you've listened to our podcast and you hear the thumps, I do apologize. I'm going to try really hard not to do that.
Slapping the table, thumps? What are you talking about, Shawty?
Babe.
What is, let's start this, let's cue this music because my mind went somewhere else.
So we're back.
We are back.
The podcast, the mics stopped recording. So if the sound was a little changed, the audio switched. We're back now. So yeah, technical difficulties apparently.
That's all right, but we there. So real quick, let's jump into our quick first sponsor, and then we'll get on with the podcast. So this is a new sponsor. So we're excited to tell you about them. It's called Bulldog Yoga. So
yoga.
Yeah. So you know that we've talked about trying yoga before and doing yoga and stuff is hard. Stuff is so difficult. But Gabrielle makes it look all easy, doing all these extra flexible stuff.
Hey.
You'll
get there one day.
I look like a wooden stick trying to bend. Like it don't work. It don't work. So basically, it's no secret that we're all juggling a lot these days, jobs, families, budgets, not to mention, emotional baggage that people are dealing with, from last year or just from the current year.
Yeah. From life.
And then, it's been tough for kids, basically kids, in school, out of school, back in school, virtual school. I mean, just all kinds of stuff. So, just in general, life is, has been crazy for a lot of us. And so I'm sure you've heard and, read about the amazing benefits of yoga, that like increased strength, better flexibility, improved mental focus, and many more benefits. But just like I said, many of us have tried yoga and never gone back, or have been afraid to try because of how intimidating the experience can be. Because I know that there's been a few times where you see somebody's really good at yoga and you see they're doing this stuff. You're like, nope, not going to do that. I'm going to go do this downward dog that is not even technically downward because I'm not flexible enough. So basically, this is where Bulldog Yoga enters. So it's online and it's about taking the intimidation out of yoga and replacing it with music, smiles, and no judgment. So Bulldog Online is about making yoga fun. Yes, fun. And Bulldog streaming online classes are available on demand, anytime, any place, and on your schedule. Bulldog even offers classes for kids and teens so you can get your Bulldog on and get moving with the whole family. Bulldog online classes are easy to follow and set to great playlists meant to motivate and keep you and your family smiling throughout the movement. There are choices for all levels, from beginner classes to heart-pumping workouts. And there are tons of classes, length, options to fit your schedule. Class range from 12 to 60 minutes. And really easy. Look, we haven't done a class yet, but I've looked through I looked through it and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm excited to try one.
We're excited to try it. It's very user-friendly. So, I mean, definitely a ton of things for you to choose from. So that's pretty awesome. And, 12-minute class, you can start really, small and work your way up to the bigger classes. So, so for you all that are watching or listening, you can actually try your first 30 days for free at bulldogonline.com. That's bulldogonline.com. Use the code LMO for an additional 50% off your first paid month. Again, that's bulldogonline.com, coupon code LMO. So, again, the app is called Bulldog Online. I want to make sure that you check that out. It's not Bulldog Yoga. It's Bulldog Online, so when you're searching for it. But it'll be linked below as well. So, yeah, check them out.
Check them out.
All right.
Check them out.
Check them out.
I didn't get to give y'all the recap of what happened this week.
Yeah, what happened this week,
What happened this week?
What happened?
Let me give y'all the recap. Actually, what happened? Oh, okay. So, we've been talking about, like, updating our bedroom because I feel like it's quite basic. So, I actually bit the bullet and I got a design worked up for just like adding pieces to it, some pops of color, changing it up, and it's the same company that we used to do the playroom downstairs. So I reached out and got a, what do you call it?
The same power that brought Jesus from the grave. Sorry.
Got a, whatever. I don't know. What is the word that I'm looking for? What did I get?
She got a mock-up design.
Yeah, a mock-up design. So I think we've decided on it, and I'm excited about it. I'm going to order the things probably today.
I have decided to follow Jesus.
You're really in a sing-songy mood today, huh?
I told you. I just told you down. If I could really sing, I would be the king of covers.
He literally
straight up. I'd have one original song. The rest would be covers.
You just sing everybody.
I'd be like Boyce Avenue, just singing everybody else's song and have like one single. I love Boyce Avenue, so if
that's hilarious. So I'm excited about that. And it's not even much, but just like finally getting curtains in here and
it'd be nice
playing around with a rug, and so we're having this debate. She gave us options for cute little chairs with like a little table in between to, I think, sit on the side here next to the windows.
That makes sense.
Babe does not want the chairs. He wants
a bed couch.
It's just a love seat.
I'm trying to get a bed couch.
Do you guys have love seats, bed couches, like, you know, like a little love seat in front of your
Isn't
bed?
bed couch funner to say than love seat?
I don't
bed couch.
Bed couch. So, yeah, we cannot decide because he wants a bed couch. We already have this stool that we're sitting on, or this, I don't know what you call it.
Which nobody wants to sit here and do anything. Okay?
But you sit here right now.
Because I got to. I could sit on the floor, but then y'all would see the top of my head.
They probably would even see that. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think we should go for the love seat, a.k.a. bed couch? Or the accent chairs on the side of the bed. You know, we can sit by the window and read a book
like, and then the sun is glaring in the back of your neck. Like, just the back of your neck's just hot right here, just right here.
Either way, we're going to have this stool because we haven't been able to find a love seat that we would even be interested in. So
you want a hot, sweaty neck? By sitting over there?
You're so fun. What I'm trying to tell Babe is that he's not going to sit in it.
That's what she says.
He's like, oh, you know, we could just sit on the love seat and watch TV.
Sweetheart,
First of all, how much do we watch? How much TV do we actually watch in here? And why wouldn't we want to just sit in the bed and watch it? Like, why would we?
Because when we get in the bed, you trying to get frisky.
You know,
I be trying to watch. Look, I be trying to find This Is Us, and you thinking about This Is Us making out. I'm trying to watch This Is Us on here.
Now, we all know that that's not true.
Girl,
okay?
You can't. If we're in the bed, you can't keep your hands to yourself.
Whatever. I just don't think that we're going to use it. We don't sit on this unless we're filming a podcast.
Because it's uncomfortable.
I don't think that's it.
It's so it.
I don't know. So,
like,
let me know. Do you guys have bed couches?
Look, our booty structures are not the same. Okay, we're not built the same. Okay,
we're not. Stop.
Oh, sorry. We're not built the same. Okay, she got booty.
We're not.
And I got bone.
We're not. You do.
Okay, so when I'm sitting on this hard surface,
it's comfortable. All you had to do is put like a little pillow behind you, and you know, you could chill.
Ain't nobody about to watch a 45-minute episode of nothing doing this.
I'm not going to sit on the couch either and do that. I'm
yes,
just going to get in the bed. I really just don't think that I would use it. But we'll look. We're going to look because the color, so our bedding, obviously our like bed stuff and nightstands is like this muted gold. So we went with kind of like gold accents and like pops of teal. So because teal, I am accepting the fact that teal is my favorite color.
I think so too.
I think that for years I've not said teal was my favorite color, but when you think about our house, it's a whole lot of teal in here. Yeah, so I just think it's really pretty. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll keep you posted. I guess you'll see if it changes because this is when we film the podcast for now.
Straight bed couch. I'm so excited.
You find
the
bed couch.
I think that she is leaning towards the bed couch. She's not against the bed couch.
I'm not against it. It just has to be the perfect fit. Like, it just has to look good.
I think that size that we found was nice.
Yeah, but we can't find what we...
No. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Here we go.
Through Christ Jesus, all things are possible.
Anyway,
We said, Lord, we need a sofa.
Let's see what else is happening.
He will deliver a sofa.
Okay. Can you please?
Sorry, I was talking about Jesus.
Oh my gosh! If y'all hear the thumping, it's not me this time. It's back.
Phone's ringing.
Spam risk. You're just not gonna turn it off.
Well, yeah, I guess I will now.
You're not gonna silence it.
I played the intro and then I forgot.
Don't you hate that when you're somewhere and somebody's phone is ringing and they don't silence it? Like they're not answering it, but they just let it ring. Again. It's like, do you know that you can just push the button to stop the ringing? Like I just think that's so funny when people do that. I'm always like, do they not know that they can? When it's ringing, like, and you're not going to answer it.
Ned's like, Martha, your phone's ringing. What, honey? What'd you say, Ned? Martha, turn your phone off. It's ringing right now. Ned, what you say?
Ned and Martha.
Ned and Martha.
All right.
They sound old, don't they?
They do.
Sorry if there's a Ned or Martha listening.
We love y'all.
Jinx. Gabrielle. All right, we doing a question?
Yes, we're doing a question. Do we like these books?
I don't think we like these books.
Okay, let me pull up the one that I got on Kindle. You just gonna...
I just looked to see if I opened up to a good... Nope. I'm dying.
We don't want to talk about that. Oh, it's the 3000. Like Andre. What number? Like Andre. You know what I was...
Or Mr. 3000 with Bernie Mac.
What is that? Mr. 3000? I don't think I ever seen that.
A baseball movie where he was a baseball player. Good old Bernie.
I don't think that I've seen that.
I think it was called, what
was I saying? I was going to say, there was a tweet that I saw about how we just don't give enough credit to Outkast and how they produced, what was the album? Is it Equimenon? I don't know how to say it, but y'all know the album. In their 20s, they were 22. Like that album is so good. It's crazy when you think about the musical genius, and they were so young.
Mr. 3000, Bernie Mac, 2004.
Oh, I remember seeing that. I've seen that poster before, but I don't think I've ever watched the movie. Okay, 1 through 3000.
6.
You will go to 6.
9,
That's
16.
Fine. It's fine. Stick with it, shawty. Stick with it.
Try to act like you know what you're doing.
Okay. Other than when you're sick, have you ever spent an entire day in your pajamas? When was the last time?
I mean,
no, because you don't wear pajamas.
I don't wear pajamas, yeah, so.
I think that's weird, people who don't wear pajamas. Like, why don't you wear pajamas?
Who needs pajamas?
This is why Chad Jr. won't wear pajamas.
Because he's like his dad.
Because he wants to be like you. It's like, just get you some pajamas. Now you do have some comfy.
I have comfy pajama pants
like
and
fleece pants and
or
stuff.
my Alabama comfy sweatpants that I wouldn't wear outside.
Yeah,
they're literally
but
just
a whole 2-piece pajama situation unless
Who's
it's Christmas
doing
time.
Who's doing that though in these streets?
Have that. I am. I wear all the pajamas. I have so much lounge
wear. You
wear.
pajamas last night?
I was not, okay? Sometimes you just got to let her breathe, okay? And I just was like, you know what? I'm not putting nothing on, okay? Yeah. That is the best feeling ever. If you've never slept naked.
It is the best feeling
It is the best, okay? Right. Just free.
She got about the bed, and I'm like.
I know, because Babe didn't know I was in the bed before him. So then I had to go and get my retainer or something because I forgot it. And he was sitting there watching his iPad. So I get out of the bed and he was like, oh, wait, so this is what we doing?
I almost choked on a pretzel and cheese. I was like, what?
You know, gotta let the kitty breathe every now and then.
Okay.
It is what it is. But if you've never slept naked, you totally have to do that. I usually reserve that for when we're at a hotel or something.
There are benefits to sleeping
just because
naked.
Our kids tend to get in the bed with us. Well, now Chad Jr. he has officially grown out of that stage.
He doesn't come in our room.
He does not come in our
room. And Reagan don't come in our room until 7 a.m.
Yeah.
So she's wakes up for the day and then she comes in. So
yeah. But for the longest, Chad Jr. would come in the middle of the night.
He would. He'd sneak in like a ninja.
Yeah. I'd have to keep the clothes on, but
we don't now though.
Kids is growing up, shouty.
Man. Don't remind me.
Growing up. I know, man. Speaking of that.
See how I softly laid my hands on the table?
I appreciate
In
that.
sadness.
You guys, I had a bit of baby don't know if it's a baby fever, but
she had some baby something.
It was like, just a couple days, and I was like, what would happen if we had
a child? Did it leave?
I think so.
Did that sound sure? Did that sound for sure?
Here's the thing. I think of a million different reasons why we do not need a third child. Not that anybody needs the children. That probably sounded really bad. But the idea of a third child sounds so much fun.
Yeah.
But the execution of it is where my mind always stops. Like, girl, you about to be 39 this year. Like, and hey, I know it's women out here having babies well into their 40s and some 50. But, yeah, I'm not sure that I want to start all over. I wonder if this is why, like, certain people, I don't know. I know adoption, a lot of people turn to adoption when they have to. But I do also wonder, like, is this probably some people adopt because they don't want to go through that phase again, but they do want to bring another, you know what I'm saying, another life to the family. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It's interesting.
I don't know, but
yeah, I don't know. It sounds fun,
I mean, the idea of having a third kiddo.
Doesn't it sound fun?
We feel like our kiddos are
they're cuties, things, right?
Like, they're amazing, and so it would be cool to have a third little amazing cutie walking around here. But if she got any kind of personality like Reagan, though,
honey, keep her. Reagan is.
We not trying to. We love our Reagan, and we need to devote the energy to her. But we got two of her.
Woo! And that's another thing too that I think about having another child. I sometimes feel like, I say this to Chad. I joke about it, but there is a little bit of truth to it. I feel like we be failing at parenting, and he's always like, "We're not failing at parenting," but I do feel like we got to work on giving the two children we have the attention and time and nurture, you know what I'm saying? Like, a certain amount that we are doing, but I feel like there's always room for more. So then the other part is like bringing a whole nother child into that when I don't feel like we're where we need to be with the two we have. It's kind of just like,
I think that's
kind of selfish, or, you know what I'm saying? It's not fair to them.
Yeah. I'm sure, like, if some of you that work from home, maybe you worked from home before, or maybe you're newly working at home, or you're an entrepreneur, like being an entrepreneur, working for yourself is an amazing opportunity. But the flip side is you have to learn how to disconnect from work to family. So even though you're in the same place, you have to be able to, like, walk out of your door and close your office door, and that's you're done with work that day. Like, you left work. True. I mean, because you can sit there and work all day, especially in social media and what we do, because it sometimes doesn't even feel like work, but it is still technically work. So
but I don't know. I feel like a lot of that is just an our problem, because I know plenty of people who work from home that can turn off and have those hard boundaries. I just think it's more difficult for us to set the boundaries and stick to them.
I said that's not
discipline issue.
No, it's obviously absolutely a discipline issue. So that's what we it's a continued thing to try to work on to make sure because we play with our kids, hang with our kids now, but we want to do it more. So that's why I always tell her we're not failing at parents, because that's a very glass half empty.
It is. You're right.
Failing at parents, we can give plenty of examples of people that are.
You're right.
And those children are really suffering because of it. Like, like, I think that we do our best, and we know that we want to do better.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Good job.
I got you, Shad.
Okay, my turn.
Remember that when you're sleeping later. What you gonna wear?
Let's go with question 3000.
This is what I'm talking about, though. But why you gotta do that, though?
Just go to the.
Okay, there we go.
Scroll shot.
I got you.
It ain't that difficult.
Oh, I don't need your help. I got this.
Oh, it looked like you needed my help.
Like what Reagan this morning with the when we talked to her on the mic, what she said. When
we talked to her on the mic? Oh, so we have this like camera in her room, like, you know, just to check on her and everything. And she hadn't come in it was like 8:00 this morning. She hadn't come in here yet. So I was like, is she up? So I look on there and she's just laying in the bed playing with her dolls. Like, she's all in this Barbie phase now. And she was screaming. She wasn't screaming, but she was yelling daddy. So I, like, on the intercom was like, Reagan, what you doing? And she looked back and she was like, I don't want you on the camera. I want daddy. I was like, dang, girl.
So then I talk on the mic. I'm like, hey, baby, good morning. What are you doing?
She's like, hi, daddy. I was like, girl, this is what I'm talking about, okay?
Yeah. So I said, girl, come on in here with us. She said, okay.
She was like, I don't want you on my camera. I want daddy.
It's funny, man.
It's fine. It's fine.
She's funny.
I'm not crying. It's fine.
All right, question. So you just answered the question. What was the last thing someone said or did that you were offended by?
I was totally offended.
Reagan this morning.
Totally offended. I'm trying to think what else was something. I feel like people say stuff to offend me all the time because they don't say stuff to offend me. I take offense to certain things because
no one can offend you unless you let them.
Yeah, exactly.
No one can make you feel a certain way.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a comment. I'm trying to think of what was the last comment.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a comment. Somebody ran their mouth.
Somebody. What was the last comment that it was the comment we was talking about last week where I typed the response and then I just let it go. Yeah. That was probably the last thing. Oh, because we cleaned out our pantry and somebody said that we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't show that on camera because there are a lot of people out that, you know, don't have food or are struggling or whatever. And I'm just like, I feel like sometimes people just want to say something. And it's like, so I can't clean out my pantry, like get rid of expired food because there are people that need food. So you mean to tell me you've never thrown anything that was expired away? Like, it's just like, people forget how they live their own lives. You ain't never cleaned out your refrigerator before? Like, you never had old food that you threw away? Like, come on. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I think that, you know, people just like to, some people out there have the notion to always just feel like they know more than you or that they're more, like, that they're better than you for some reason. Because I wouldn't do that. Like, who cares? Like, just.
Okay, maybe you wouldn't. But even still, like, and it was because it's one thing to say how you feel. It's another thing to be condescending. Because she said something about, like,
you know better.
No, it was something about how, like, you know, God has a way of taking everything away from you so you can see what it's like. It was just like, girl, all of this because I cleaned out my pantry? Like,
but first of
all,
I
know what it's like to have lack, to not have. Exactly. Like, I don't need God to take it away from me to get that lesson. I've been there before, and I know that it could happen again. You know what I'm saying? But I don't need you to give me that.
But what's even sadder about that?
Because I cleaned out my pantry?
But what's sadder about that? Yeah, first of all, we both grew up broke. So that you know, like, you know, homeless at times. So, but
we could go back there at any time. God can do anything. Okay.
But guess what? Here's the thing. So there's two issues with that. First of all, like, who are you to speak for God? Second of all, like, are you wishing that on someone?
Yeah, it was
because that's an issue with you. You probably should go pray about that.
You about to get a lesson.
You probably should go pray about that. Yeah, because if you wishing that on anybody, then you've got an issue.
All based off of a 6-minute clip in a video where I said I got rid of all the expired food. Mind you, you don't know what I did with the expired food. You assumed that I threw it away in the trash, but you didn't actually see me take bags and throw them into the trash. You don't know if I bagged it up to take it to donate it somewhere. Like, I didn't, but it's just that when we think we see one part of something and we know the whole story, and it's like, ma'am, sir, you don't even know what I did with that. You have no idea. Like, I'm not donating expired food. I don't know very many places that will take expired food. So, but it's just, that was the last thing that offended me. Because I was just like, it's okay to say, I mean, I don't know, because it's almost like it's when people are like, well, there are other people who you shouldn't talk about that because there are other people who don't live like you. Are you going and telling Beyonce that she shouldn't live her life, or Kim Kardashian that she shouldn't flaunt her life because you don't have the money that she has? Like, well, there's other people that ain't millionaires. Okay, it's other people who are in different situations from everybody. So I can't live my life
based on what?
Based on making someone else feel a certain way when they see me live my life. Like, and trust me, we ain't out here flaunting nothing. Like, we are the least, like what do we flaunt? You know what I'm saying?
We live a pretty simple,
basic life.
Blessed
you know what
life.
I'm saying?
Simple, blessed life.
I mean, and it's people, do your thing. If you want to showcase all of the everything, do it. Because if you worked for it, it's yours. Do it. But I'm like, I ain't even like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I can't do the simple thing.
It just goes back to just stop looking at, I think people need to stop looking at things with the eye of criticism or the eye of judgment. Like either watch because you enjoy, or look at something because you enjoy. Or if you're always looking for something to pick apart, then maybe you just shouldn't watch something or look at something anymore. Like it's just like, that's not healthy for you.
It's not.
And to be honest, on our side, like, it doesn't affect the way that we live our life.
Yeah.
Like we are not, reading that comment and all of a sudden, ooh, let's change the way of our lives. If there's
but it irritates
me. We see comments from people that are constructive criticism, and we're like, oh, that's a good point. But when you're disrespectful or you're wishing bad things on us, or then it goes in one eye and out the other, because we don't really care what you got to say at that point.
Delivery is
and
everything.
You wouldn't either.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, like, I think that the people that are like, out there doing that, like the people that, holier than thou, they know they have a better relationship with God than you do. Like, that's what in their head they think that. Like, it's just like, just stop this world of judgment. Like, just stop.
Stop. Yeah, I was trying to find my leak said something.
It be cracking me up
recently. Like, we should learn to look at things with curiosity instead of judgment.
Yeah,
like,
that's great.
Learn to look at things with curiosity instead of automatically choosing judgment. And I'm like, it's really true, because I think a lot of times we do it subconsciously. Like, it's just one of those things where we are conditioned to judge people, or to feel like we're, people are inferior of us or whatever based on their position, or all the things. Like, it's just one of those things to do. Like, when you think about it, when you meet somebody, why is it always like, why do people always ask you what you do?
Because it's a way to size you up.
It's a way to size you up and see, well, how much respect do I have to give you, or are you doing better than me? You know what I'm saying? You ever realize that when you meet people? Like, why is that a common question? So what do you do? Why does it matter? like, why are we not being like, so how's life? Are you happy? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We don't ask the question.
Yeah, like, what makes you happy?
To really get to know somebody. Like, you telling me you're a doctor doesn't tell me anything about your life, or how you're doing, or if you're content or happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's interesting the way we do things.
We just got. I mean, there's just a lot of, like, people don't know how to communicate. Like this, like today, like, it's just, communication is just so broken in general. Like, the way that, people leave comments, or the way they talk to each other, like the way, the judgmental, like, like, who are you to step into someone else's life and tell them how they should live it?
Yeah.
Unless they asked you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, like, it's like, but people think that that's what,
it's become
that's
normal.
What they're allowed to do. Like,
right, absolutely. You put it out there.
Yeah, you can have an opinion, but how does it affect your life enough to where you want to have an argument back and forth? It's just really interesting to me.
Yeah, because people will be going back and forth, and
I'd be cracking up.
It's just not that crucial.
Laughing. It's just like, whatever.
I mean, and it's not. And I will say, like, we're talking about this stuff, not like we are above it, or we haven't been prey to this. Like, I've done the same things. I've asked people what they did. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
It's something 100%. That we've all done.
100%.
But it's sometimes you have to stop and think, like, why do we do these things? A lot of it is just because it's tradition. It's how it's always been.
Yeah.
But what is the actual meaning behind it? Like, when's the last time you met somebody and asked them, like, how are you doing? How's your life? You know, are you happy? Like,
what do you do that makes you happy?
Right. Like, what do you do that makes you happy?
Just like,
yes.
Maybe approach people like, just, you know, when you meet somebody new, hey, you know what? I got a crazy question for you. What do you do? What do you do that makes you happy?
I like that.
And I bet you'll start a conversation like that's going to be different than what if it would have started, you know, saying, what do you do for a living?
Yeah.
Because what people do for a living sometimes isn't even close to being tied to what makes them happy.
Okay, a lot of times it's not.
So, like, I just think the world,
that's a good question. I like
the world could have so much more empathy, but it starts with the people having empathy towards each other, right? Like, you know, and yes, a little comment, you know, someone leaving something negative towards you, you know, like that, you know, that is not empathy. That's judgment, and it starts a conversation off on the wrong foot, you know, and
wrong note.
It's just so you know, something to think about. All right,
get on our second
sponsor.
Yeah.
So we've talked about this sponsor one time before, but I'm excited to tell you about them again because I've actually used the products this time. I didn't get to use them last time. So Prose, Prose. So I have this issue with like dry hair, like, you know, just, it's not dandruff. It's just, it gets just really dry, like, and even red and irritated sometimes. And I have no clue why.
Yeah. Is that dandruff though? And this is just dry hair dandruff? Maybe not. I don't know.
My barber says that's not dandruff. Like,
you
know,
so
I mean, she's been cutting hair for 20 plus. She said it's not dandruff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what dandruff is.
I just assumed dandruff meant flaking. So
yeah, but there's like skin conditions. I know I get it on my face sometimes where I get red. But yeah, I don't know what it is. But basically, so I did this like free in-depth hair quiz that they have. And so it asks you a ton of questions about, you know, your hair, your lifestyle, all that kind of stuff. And then it builds a formula for you. And they have over 50 billion formula combinations.
That's crazy.
You hear me? 50 billion. So they have an algorithm that like puts everything together, and then they come up with a formula for it, and they send it to you, and it has like, you know, shampoo made for Chad, you know, conditioner made for Chad. So it's really cool. So, you know, with Prose, you know, kind of how they go about it is there's no one size fits all when it comes to shampoo and conditioner. It's true, because I've found all these, you know, moisturizing products, and they didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
But we need products that are suited for our unique needs and don't leave us disappointed. So with the personalized Prose shampoo and conditioner, which I love, you know, now I have something that's kind of built for me. So Prose knows that there's more to you than just your hair type. They've given over 1 million consultations with their in-depth hair quiz, which is again how I started. Super easy to do, and so they gave me a shampoo, a conditioner, and then a pre-shampoo like mask. And so I mean, all three of those, I mean, have improved my hair completely. I got my hair cut yesterday, and she was like, "Wow, your head is not irritated. It looks, you know."
Oh, did she say that?
She actually said that.
Oh, see, that's good.
So I mean, she saw that.
Working,
yeah, and then she put the shampoo that they use that makes me, you know, it flakes up right away. So,
you have to bring your own shampoo.
Yeah, I'm gonna start bringing my own. Okay, you just use mine. Okay.
Right.
All right. So, so if you're not 100% positive, you know, that Prose is the best hair care you've had, once you've used it, they will take the products back, no questions asked. That's awesome. So that's pretty cool. So for you guys, you girls, you guys, whoever's watching or listening, you can actually go to prose.com/LMO, and you can get your healthy hair regimen with your name all over it. You can take their free in-depth hair quiz and get 15% off your first order today. So again, that's Prose, PROSE.com/LMO for your free in-depth hair quiz and 15% off. So check them out. I'm happy.
Check them out. Yeah, he's been ranting and raving about it, like legit.
Yeah, whenever I'm getting ready to get out, I'm gonna order me some more, because I mean I don't need to change, and the prices were great. I'm not. I mean, they're not expensive at all. So
yeah, well, I'm glad you found something you like.
That's right. Check them out.
All right, so I think we're gonna do an Ask Gabe and Babe. So let's see what we got. You want to pause and get on this call? You said it's at 12. Okay, so the Ask Gabe and Babe.
Yes.
What you got?
Let's see what I got.
I gave Babe the task to find the Ask Gabe and Babe. Let's see what he comes up with.
Here we go. If it can come out. Here we go. Ooh. Hey, Gabe and Babe. I met a guy online. Hello. Met a guy online. This is the first time I've ever done something like that. We've been talking on the phone for about a month now. Due to the pandemic, we can't meet each other. Really do like him, and I enjoy the conversation. But I'm not believing him on certain stuff he is telling me. One week he is telling me that he loves me. When I ask him, "Are you sure that you're saying?" Let me see. When I ask him if he's sure, and do you really mean it, he's saying he's falling hard for me. I really appreciate your guys' advice and opinion. So I'm guessing she just kind of asking. Yeah, that's it. So I'm guessing she's just asking kind of like what, maybe just how she approach it, because she's having doubts about.
Yeah. I will say kudos to you for dating and, stepping outside the box and doing something different, especially in a pandemic. I always think about that. Like, my heart goes out to those that are single right now and trying to date, like navigating dating in the world that we're in now. And you didn't say whether you guys were local, like if you're in the same place or if it's long distance. So, that's a factor as well.
Absolutely.
But I think that what I would say is it's only been a month. So I think that my advice would be to just see how it plays out.
Yeah.
It's very early on. Yeah. And not saying that he couldn't have those feelings. I mean, Chad knew from jump that he loved me. Like, he came on very strong, and I was like, okay, pump your brakes.
Boy was in the gym working out.
It's only been, so long. So not to say that he can't be,
no, exactly,
truthful, possible. But I think that right now you seem to be in a position where you don't really have anything to lose to continue going on and to see how it progresses. Now, if you feel like he's flat out just lying about certain things, like, that's different. If you feel like you're getting catfished or something ain't right, but if it's just him, you're not sure of his feelings for you,
expressing emotions that you not sure you can believe that he has yet.
Right.
I mean,
it's perfectly normal to feel that way.
Yeah, it's perfectly normal, but it's also possible that he could.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that, I agree. I think that, good for you in trying to just connect with people the best way that you can right now. I think this is actually a great thing. We always talk about how our ability to only communicate and talk and not see each other was such a game changer, and why our relationship is the way it is now. Yes. So that's awesome. So I think you should definitely
take advantage of this time.
Take advantage of this and just have every conversation in the book. Like, talk about everything. Yep. And I think that if he's saying that he loves you and he cares about you and he's falling hard, just continue to communicate. If you like him, you want to continue to talk, continue to communicate, continue to have great conversations, and the truth will always come out.
Exactly.
Right? So if he continues to say the same and be the same and act the same, then you're going to start saying, you know what, I think his feelings are real. Right now, it's kind of a scary and new, and you're like, well, I don't know how you falling that hard.
Right.
But so I wouldn't read so much into it. If you're having a good time talking to him, and then just let it happen.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Let it happen.
Let it happen.
Be open. Try to remove the expectation.
Absolutely.
Which I know is really difficult, especially when you're meeting somebody. We all have these timelines and these plans, and it's like, well, this person, he's got to come correct. He got to be the one, or you know what I'm saying. Sometimes it's helpful to take all of that pressure off of it and just enjoy it for what it is. You guys have been talking for a month, enjoying each other's company. It's totally okay to let your guard down and, you know what I'm saying, see what happens. Just be open to the possibility. Like, we don't know if his feelings are for real or if he's just talking, but his actions will show that.
Exactly. Yeah.
The further you guys go, the actions will line up with the words. They should.
Yeah, absolutely. Be open to him being madly in love with you, but be a bit guarded with your heart to make sure that, you know, you can't be hurt as you're continuing to get to know each other. Because eventually that guard will start to...
I don't know that I would tell her to be guarded. Not heart.
Guarded meaning... Well, okay, guard is not the wrong one. Be protective of yourself and, you know, your emotions. Don't say something that you don't mean. So don't just say it back to him. Like, so, you know, if he's asking you, you know, how you feel about him, if you don't love him, you don't have to say that. Like, you know, just
be honest. I don't think guarded is the word, because I don't want you to go into this not being your full self with, you know, because that can be a recipe for disaster too.
So yeah, not guarded, but just make sure that you just, again, no expectations.
Be true to your feelings.
Be true to your.
Don't let his feelings influence your feelings,
and don't let him influence on what you should feel. And what'll happen is you'll continue to have these great conversations, hopefully, and you'll continue to grow a bond together. And emotions will be what they are. You know, I mean, and that's what you want. You want organic, real emotions that aren't forced, they're built and they happen.
Yeah, and everybody doesn't come to the point at the same time. Everybody doesn't get to that. Honestly, speaking from experience, you know, if you're listening, Babe was pointing the finger at me. But like, it's totally okay for you to be a little slower to it than he is. But then also make sure that your doubt doesn't stem from previous experience.
That's good.
Like, make sure that you don't have a bias or a negative perspective, or, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we have these feelings that, based off of what has happened to us in the past, we may feel a certain way, and it just changes how we look at things. We look at things glass half empty as opposed to glass half full. So make sure that these doubts that you have aren't stemming from previous heartbreak or previous letdown. You know what I'm saying? Approach this as fresh as possible.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope that that's helpful.
Absolutely.
Keep us posted. Let us know. But yeah, enjoy it. Yeah, so many people out here right now that wish they had somebody to talk to.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're having good conversations.
If you're having good conversations, enjoy it. It's okay to enjoy it, and it's okay for it to not turn out to be the thing. Yeah.
It's okay for it to go either way, as long as you're enjoying and having a good time conversation. Maybe it ends up being a great friend to you.
You never know.
Maybe it ends up being your husband. You don't know, but just have fun, enjoy the journey.
Yep.
And don't be so caught up in what the outcome could be that you don't enjoy the process.
Yep, that's good.
That was a good one.
You got another one?
Girl.
We got one more.
One
more for the road.
All of them.
For the road.
I'm going to have you read this one, though.
Oh, you're going to have me do this one?
Yeah, shout out. Just right, both sponsors. First half.
You do that. Look, I keep telling Babe, I am available. I'm available. What's next?
I don't know.
I'm available. You didn't even know what song I was singing?
Yeah, Justin Bieber. But I mean, I don't. If it's on, I can sing with it.
I don't know the words. I wish I knew the words. Anyway, I be telling him I'm available to read these podcast sponsors, and he just takes it on like he's the only person.
I'm not looking for podcast read availability though.
What availability you looking for?
Make out availability.
Let's get to this Ask Gabe and Babe. Hello, Gabrielle and Chad. Hey.
Hello.
I hope all is well with you and your family. I would like to be anonymous. Okay.
Anonymous.
So I am writing regarding an issue I've been having with my boyfriend of 4.5 years. In the first year of our relationship, I discovered that he had been unfaithful. It was devastating to me at that time because we had moved in together. We both went to therapy for the infidelity, and he really seemed to be changing. I ended up leaving and having my own affair because I was unable to let go. Fast forward now, over 3 years later, we have had counseling and attend church together consistently. He is open with all his devices, locations, and does not appear to be hiding anything. It seems as though he has had a complete change of heart and has even expressed a desire to be engaged before the end of the year. My issue is that I am still having trouble fully accepting the new person he's become. I find myself constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop. I feel guilty for still snooping through his belongings and second guessing everything he says. How do you recommend trusting God or hearing God when he's actually telling you to move forward. Thank you for taking the time to read this. I'm a longtime subscriber, and your vlogs have been such a light in my life. Thank you for being, part of the family and all of your support. We really appreciate that. And thanks for trusting us to give you our opinion about it. You want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, no, I think that, so what it seems like is that, he did something that definitely hurt you and was wrong. And we won't even push to the point of you retaliating or you doing something, not even retaliating, but you doing something that you didn't want to necessarily do, but
retaliating.
But basically you move past that point. I'm guessing you've had conversations, you've talked through things, and now it seems like you're on a better path together, right? But you're still mentally held up on what happened or what could be. And we always talk about or what if. And we always talk about, what Stephen Furtick said about putting your faith in the wrong what if. So you're thinking, I'm happy, he's treating me good, but what if he does it again? And and what that's doing is it's robbing you of your happiness. It's robbing you of your joy. Like you have to figure out a way, whether it's having another conversation with him, whether it's just, more intentional prayer, praying with somebody that you can pray with, that you trust, about how do you move on? Like, how do you let this go, so that you can truly move on?
Yeah.
And because at some point, you would hope that if you've forgiven him, then you've really forgiven him. But something in you,
I think that's, keep going.
Something in you is not necessarily, you're still holding on to something there that's not let you fully process the forgiveness, towards him. You don't forget, but if you forgive, it has to be a complete process. And I don't know exactly how you're going to go about doing that, but I think that's what you wouldn't be holding on to these, you're waiting for something bad to happen if you had fully moved on and forgiven him. So go ahead. I mean, jump in, whatever.
Yeah. My question is more so less about him and more about you. Have you forgiven you
true.
for what you did? Because it's like you're saying you feel guilty for snooping and doing all of these things. Could it be that you still feel guilty for how you retaliated? Like, have you processed that and forgiven yourself for that? Because sometimes we can project our feelings on someone else, or so you're waiting for this other shoe to drop. Are you ready to take that next step? Like, how do you feel?
It's almost like you're afraid to take that next commitment step.
Yeah, but it's like, what is it that's keeping you from taking that next step? Like, do you really want to? Like, and I don't know how long the affair was, if it was a one-time thing or if it was like an actual relationship that you had, but I think that maybe these feelings are based off of you not forgiving yourself, or you not actually fully processing that and knowing that you're ready to let it go and move forward. I don't know. I could be wrong, but it's just,
it makes sense with the fact that he wants to get engaged by the end of the year.
It's like, what's your hesitation?
That's a level of commitment that you guys have not. I don't think that you've reached before, and that in turn that brings emotions and some some anxiety, and it can make you fearful. Like, wow, engaged. I mean, next step is marriage. That's big. So all of a sudden, now does it feel like, oh crap, like he wants to go to this next level? Like, you're looking, that one part of you is looking for every reason for it not to work.
Yeah, it's like you're banking on it.
It's like you can't let yourself be happy.
Yeah. So what is that hold up in you?
Absolutely.
Because I don't think that it's based on him. The fact that you still feel like you have to check up after him.
When you're saying that he's not giving you reasons.
Right. That's an internal issue. That has to be, it has to be rectified before you can even go forward, because the last thing you want to do is to put a Band-Aid on these feelings, because marriage is not going to make it just magically go away. If you feel like now you need to snoop and you need to see what he's doing and you need to keep tabs, that doesn't go away once he becomes your husband.
Yeah, and what happens too, think about this. No, go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead.
What happens this too, that say 10 years down the road, you're still doing this, you guys are married now, and he is not cheating. He's not doing anything wrong, and he hasn't been. How do you think he's going to feel? What do you think that's doing to your level of trust in your relationship?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he doesn't know if she's snooping.
Well, but he could find out.
Right. And it's
maybe he does. Maybe he does know.
I mean, you're right. You never know. Is he as open with you as you are? Is that making sense? Yeah. Are you as open with him as he is with you? Like locations and there's no passwords and he can look if he wanted to. Like, does it go both ways where it's that type of thing? Like, do you think that he's keeping tabs on you? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like, that I feel like needs to be nipped in the bud. Trust me, I've been in relationships where I felt like I had to keep tabs. If I feel like I have to keep tabs on you and we're in a relationship, that's a major red flag. We don't need to be together because I don't trust you. So I think you can definitely learn to trust God in the next steps. But if you cannot trust this person that you say you love and who wants to spend the rest of his life with you, don't go any further until you figure that out. Because I think it won't just go away. Like, you got to work on that. Yeah.
What I think I was going to with that last point was that, say, 10 years down the road, he catches you looking through his stuff.
Oh, okay.
Not because he walks in the room and you're looking through his phone or something. How do you think that's going to make him feel especially if you don't find anything, and then all of a sudden, then you have the conversation, well, I've been doing this a lot. I've looked through your stuff a lot.
I mean, you could do that now. This happened year one.
I know, but what I'm saying...
We're 3 years into it.
Exactly. But what I think he's going to feel in that moment, like, wow, you don't trust me. You still don't trust me? Like, that's going to be a very difficult conversation. Yeah. So you should probably have that conversation now. Whether it's definitely with him. Like, hey, I'm having some issues and I want to figure this out because I do want to move forward in this relationship, but I know that I can't get engaged when I still feel like there's something could happen. And that's, so I think that the longer you wait for this and it festers, the worse it's going to get. Yeah. And for you, like, it doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with him. Like, for you, if you still feel like you got to search through this man's phone, you have to get to the root cause of it. And, God, hopefully it's not because he's doing something. But it's almost even worse if he's not doing something and you're still doing it, because then, like Gabrielle said, that's an inside job that you've got to really figure that out, because that's just unhealthy for you.
Yeah, you say my issue is that I'm still having trouble fully accepting the new person he's become. Is it because you haven't become different? Yeah. Like, what I feel like this is more so something you gotta deal with on the inside. It's not about him and his actions. It's about you and your actions. Because you don't. Yeah, I don't feel like you have changed if you still feel like you have to do these things. And I get it. Once trust is broken, that is one of the hardest things to build back up. But you got to be open to building it back up. Like, you can't. It's not a half job.
And you definitely don't want to be snooping around.
Half-heartedly, it
in
has
a relationship,
to be a
in anything.
Hearted decision. I'm going to go all in and trust that what he's telling me is what's going on. I'm going to trust God that this is what, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like having these doubts, this is definitely the time where you need to take it to God. Like, okay, Lord, what is it that I need to be doing? Like, seeking him and just waiting to hear from him. Like, do your part, but you can't come to God like, okay, should I be moving forward? Is he really the one? Is this what you want me to do? But you still doing the nonsense on the side. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to let that go.
Like, no, I know you don't want to live that way. Yeah. I know you don't. Yeah. I mean, nobody wants to live like
if you're going to fully trust, you're going to fully trust.
Unless you're a private detective and you enjoy that job, like, nobody wants to snoop through their spouse or their loved ones. No. Like stuff behind their back. What kind of relationship is that? That's not healthy.
It's not.
That means that the communication is broken, especially when it comes to that part of your trust. Like, you should be able to say, like, Gabrielle asked for my phone for something. Here. Most of the time I'll put the code in for her. That way she doesn't have to type it in. Yeah. Like, it's the same, like, it's not. I know it. is that she knows it either way, but it's a thing about there shouldn't be anything on there or here or iPad or anything that she can't. If she picks up my phone, she can look through, like if she wanted to, but she doesn't look through. Like she goes onto my phone to do what she needs to do. I go into her phone to do what I need to do. It's not a thought of saying, "Oh, let me look through this." Real quick.
And then another way to think of it too is like, I don't think right now you're totally being fair to him or the relationship, because you guys both did something. It's not just he cheated and I forgave him. You retaliated. Yeah. So like,
it's not about who did it
how
first.
How does he feel? Is he open to, it seems like he's like open and willing to trust you and willing to, so for you to still be holding back is kind of unfair, because if you guys are going to work through this situation together and you've been going to counseling, like it's got to happen. It's got to be, we're doing this together, not, well, I'm secretly still feeling some kind of way, or I'm secretly still thinking you ain't about the right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and the last thing you want to do in a relationship, I love that. The last thing you want to do in a relationship is well, you did this, so I did that. That doesn't take any blame off of you. Yeah, nobody
can make you do anything. Like, so whether you felt like it was warranted, it was not.
Like, I mean, it's just one of those things where, I think that, you don't. I think that that's something in relationships. Well, he did this, so I did that. It didn't make it right.
Right.
It wasn't right that he did it, but it wasn't right that you did it either. So it's one of those things where that doesn't matter now. Like, if you're trying to move forward, you have to figure out why you feel the way you feel and how do you move forward in a new way of looking at life and your relationship together. So so that
I hope that helps.
Yeah, we hope that helps. I mean, we don't know the answer.
I don't know the answer, but I just I think the best thing you can do right now is to stop going back through and checking up, and that's how you get trust. You have to actively work towards it. Like,
you're not gonna trust him if you keep looking through for that gratification.
Absolutely,
right?
You definitely won't. Like, oh well, let me just make sure. That's not how trust works.
That's not trust. Yeah. Like it's like you feeded that addiction until okay, well, all right, well, I didn't see anything. Awesome. Next morning, let me look through real quick. Like, like it's like you're feeding an addiction.
Yeah.
And that's not
like you're going through the motions, but you're not really trying to trust him again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not easy. We're not saying it's easy. We're just saying that, that you can do it.
Yeah.
But it's going to take some work.
It is. Some work, some prayer.
Yeah.
You just take that thing to God when you feel those urges, like, okay, Lord, I want to trust him. Ask him to help you. You know what I'm saying? And be like, Lord, I trust you that this relationship is going to pan out the way you would have for it to pan out, whatever it is. Because for some reason, you guys decided to keep going. This happened year 1. And here we are, 4.5 years
in.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, y'all made the decision to keep going. So, okay. What was that decision based in, and was it the right decision? Like, this is the time to have all the conversation with God. Ask all the questions, ask for all the direction. Like, okay, Lord, if this is where you want me to be, I'm just going to have to trust that his heart is changed, because we'll never know. We never know the heart of a man. We never know. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the trust in God, like, you got to learn to build the trust in your relationship, but ultimately that trust is going to come from God, trusting him to make sure it pans out the way that it needs to.
So every time you feel like you want to get into his iPhone, get into the I'm about to go read the Bible app on my phone.
You know what, Lord? Okay, I'm not even helping.
I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Just say a quick little prayer in the moment. Yeah. Lord, I don't need to do this. And we hope that helps. I mean, we wish you nothing but the best.
Yeah, and trust that God, please believe that God, everything that's done in the dark comes into the light. Yeah. So that's the thing. It's like, you know what? I don't need to check up after you, because God's going to make a way to where if you're not being sincere, it's going to blow up. Yeah. It's going to come out. Absolutely. That's the prayer that you have. Like, Lord, God says, give me your burden. So like, you're burdening yourself with checking up after him, when you could just be like, Lord, I'm going to put this in your hands, and I'm going to do what you tell me to do when it comes to this relationship. But if something ain't right, I pray that you just bring it to the light.
This is an example of trying to do it yourself.
Yep.
Like, like, that's one thing. We can't do things by ourselves, especially big things like that. Like, we have to do the work, but we need the ultimate, ultimate guidance from him.
Yeah.
Like to help us to get to where we're trying to get. Yeah. So,
yeah. I hope that was helpful.
Absolutely.
Keep us posted.
We can't wait to keep us posted. We can't wait to hear an update, and we pray that it's really awesome.
Get engaged and all of that good stuff. So.
And yes, we will be honorary guests.
We'll MC the reception. You know.
All right. Make sure it's somewhere exotic, though. Okay. All right.
You're so silly.
No, that's awesome.
Anyway, I think that's it for today.
We
good episode.
Yeah, good episode. We had fun. Hopefully you enjoyed. So
tell people where they can find it.
Tell us where they can find it. It's all linked below in the description if you're watching, or in the show notes if you're listening. There are show notes in case you didn't know that. There's show notes. You just have to scroll down a little bit and hit the little button for show notes. Okay, that was me scrolling down. Right, hit the show notes.
What is happening
here? And so we will talk to you
next week.
Hopefully
on time.
That's right.
Bye, guys.
Deuces.
All right. Good one.
You're a good one. You're a great one.
We love y'all. Thank you for
watching.